Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to Q&A Saturday. This is a weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across my channel. These tend to be mostly about the next Minecraft update that is coming out for all platforms, which is currently the update Aquatic. They also tend to be about the last Minecraft update, which just came out for Bedrock, which is also the update Aquatic, and I know we're in a confusing time, but I wanted to answer your questions over the past week, so that's what we're doing today. Hopefully you'll enjoy this weekly fun little back and forth responding to comments. You can like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel, and let's say you do like this opportunity to expand on some of the thoughts from videos, and also respond to comments such as this first one, because this was the most upvoted comment I've seen on a Q&A Saturday in quite some time, and it's got 126 upvotes from the last night, who says in 5 years time there will only be one universal version, and that version will be Bedrock. It's made using a superior coding language, and it's played by more than 80% of the entire player base. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I play Bedrock on Windows 10 because although I like Java, I'm forcing myself to get used to Bedrock so that when it does happen, I won't completely hate the switchover. I advise you to do the same. Fighting it is useless because money makes the world go round. So this is a really big comment, and I actually kind of agree with it, and I have a little bit of area of disagreements, so I figured I'd throw it up here because, again, a lot of you seem to agree with it as well, because truth be told, a lot of people are in the silent majority, I'd say, of people who are just like, you know what, Bedrock's here, Bedrock is, you know, improving, Bedrock has a lot of features, let's just accept the switchover and see where this goes. And I think that is the majority of people, again, based on this one comment, but I think it's important not to just, one, ignore people's views and just be like, hey, well, I mean, just switch over, it's all done, because, again, a lot of people are on Xbox One for very valid reasons. And the second thing is you gotta bear in mind that both versions are actually, as in console and Bedrock, are made using the same coding language. It's not a superior one in that comparison. I know, you know, obviously the Java version is coded using Java, which is a really, really janky language, but yeah, but both the Bedrock and console are coded in the same language, and there's a lot of benefits the console has which the Bedrock doesn't. So it's not an invalid opinion to prefer one over the other. It's just more like, guess what, you know, this version is going to improve at a much faster rate, because I actually agree with this comment in a couple of areas. The first one saying in 5 years time there will be one universal version. Yeah, when people in 5 years talk about Minecraft, they'll just kind of talk about Minecraft the Bedrock edition. Again, assuming Minecraft is still big then, which I imagine it will be, they'll just be talking about Minecraft Bedrock. This whole thing will be long in the past, like, you know, the 360 to Xbox One switch and many other things before it. It's just something that tends to happen. And the other thing I agree with is that money speaks. So this is something I really don't like when it comes to other games, because whenever games put in microtransactions, even if 80% of the player base hates them, as long as 20% is buying them, it's all fine. And although that's true of Minecraft, because they're so avoidable, there's no resentment. You know, I have no care about people who buy Minecraft Mockplay stuff. It doesn't affect me in any way, which I think is a really great thing. You can kind of freeload off that thing. And in case you're curious as to what I mean by, like, well, the money is, you know, a good thing if other people are buying it. Well, you've got to bear in mind the Minecraft Bedrock team is funded a lot better than the other teams, just in terms of pure employees. And I think part of it is because it is the most popular edition, and part of it is because of those sales. They confirm they made like 10 million in just over 6 months. So if you do keep in mind the fact that they're making like residual profits off these things over and over again, the game is being funded by how good it is to some extent. You know, the more, you know, the better they make it, and the more they make people want to buy maps, the more players they have, the more money they can make. And that is why to some extent they're funding on such a huge level, because if you go and look at the number of staff that 4G Studios has, it's something like 15 to 20 working on Minecraft Console Edition. If you look at Minecraft Java Edition, it has somewhere between about 5 and 15, again, depending on how you count, who you count. It's hard to get exact numbers because we're basing this on the public estimates, but if you look at the Minecraft Bedrock team, it was recently confirmed that there are developers in the numbers of 50 to 60, and that number is going up at a crazy rate. They have a whole floor of the huge Microsoft office in Redmond. My point here is that they're putting a lot of effort into this version because they want to make Minecraft great, but they want to make a specific version of Minecraft great, one which is, again, made in a more future-proof coding language, and one which works across more platforms. And one of the side effects of this is the microtransaction thing, but that is something that will lead to it being a better game. And I know right now there's this weird, like, Civil War thing, but I just want to always keep in mind with everyone here that, like, if you are looking towards the future, like this guy is like, you know, in 5 years, I want to be playing the version of Minecraft, which, you know, is easier to deal with, then obviously Bedrock Edition is the one which in some number of years will, right? It's just like, for the now, having, you know, access to both is something people prefer, and that's something where I feel like people are on the both sides. So anyway, that's my point. I agree on some bits, I don't agree on other bits, and I guess I thought it was, you know, it was nice and well written. It was like actually fleshing out the thoughts, which I think is something that's important to do. So moving on to a question which doesn't flesh itself out in a clear and coherent way, and I just wanted to use this as an example of like why you should like spell check your comments or do something, because it shows, again, like, so the next question is, who does the new update not work with the texture pack? So I wanted to respond to this question, and I just wanted to give this as a good example of like, you know, if you you know, leave a poorly written comment, it shows that you didn't even read it before you post it, and it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, some people are always asking like, Toycat, I want to be on Q&A Saturday, why aren't you asking my questions? And one of the easy reasons that's just like, well, I mean, if you just read it back yourself and check that you haven't auto, you know, typed the wrong thing, I think it's an important thing to do on the internet, because again, this is a Q&A Saturday thing. Anyway, with that said, why does the new update not work with the texture packs? That's because the texture packs are made by 4J, and I'm assuming assuming because they did a surprise release, 4J wasn't aware and they didn't get the things done in time, so the new textures won't be done until sometime in the future, because every texture pack on Bedrock has to be manually updated by the people who made it before it will work in the latest update, because there are new textures that need to be retextured, and obviously since 4J either wasn't aware or they haven't got it done, or whatever the reasoning is, because I'm assuming the team usually works for their own update releases, you have to wait until they roll out a patch, which might be done fairly soon, or you have to wait until the updated Aquatic comes out for consoles, because the the official texture packs, they're made by 4J, but 4J is not the same as Minecraft, and they don't necessarily know exactly when stuff is releasing, so that is the reasoning for that one. And I hope this is something that gets better going forwards, because I like official texture packs because they always have new textures, but again, you can kind of see how they're not quite so official because of this little thing right here. But let's move into the third question, which comes in from Zombie Gamer 715, who says, are you going to be moving your Let's Play world to Bedrock when the Aquatic update comes out? And this was our 6 days ago, which was before we had any idea the Aquatic update was coming out for Bedrock, and the answer to this question is I think so. Again, I've had this hardest time over the past week going over the pros and cons, and like once this is done, it's kind of permanent. Once I start making things, I can't really go back. And I think, again, going back to that first comment where it's like, I think we all know what the 5-year future is. The 5-year future, or like whatever, 10-year future or 4-year future, is obviously that at some point Bedrock will be the better version, and we'll all understand that. But in the current situation, it's like I can't make this decision too early, because once I make the decision, it's semi-final. But I think when the Aquatic update comes out, which is 3 days ago, so when my next episode comes out, I think I'm going to. But personally, I think we're going to have to wait and see. I'm in this really torn position with it, and it's something that I just want to get out there that like I want to, and I'm just I'm having some thoughts about it. So we'll see on Monday how it goes, and or I guess you'll see in 2 days, because I'm still in two minds about it, even though I kind of know where the logical endpoint should be. But yeah, the decision will be made in 2 days, and I'll see you there, I guess. But let's move on to the fourth question, which comes in from Zebi of Zebranus, who says, do you care about the royal wedding? I can't be asked I care if I'm being honest, so I wanted to just take this, because it is today's the royal wedding day. It happened, and there is a huge international audience for this thing. Like, it seems like, especially America, like, they love the idea of, like, oh, there's royals, there's, like, kings and queens and stuff happening in the UK, they're getting married. But, I mean, there's two reasons I don't care about this one. The first one is the fact that, like, I don't really care about weddings in general, right? Like, if I found out that one of my friends was getting married, I guess I'd go, but, like, it's not an exciting day for me. Even if I was getting married, I don't think I'd really be too excited. Like, the idea of marriage just isn't one that appeals to me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But yeah, weddings aren't really that great. If you go to a wedding, it can be great because there's like free food and like, it's a fun-ish time sometimes. You get to meet some people. But like just, a wedding that you're not going to, there's very little to be excited about. And then it's like, okay, the second layer is like, okay, but it's a real wedding, so you should be excited for that. But it's a real wedding in the sense that like the fourth person in line to the throne, someone who's never going to inherit the throne, if they're lucky, maybe their great-grandkids will because of a weird succession rule. Like, if someone who's never going to have the throne is marrying like an American actress, and I guess she's kind of a big deal. I like Suits, but it's like, so I'm meant to care about these strangers getting married because, they have some very, very indirect claim to the throne, which, by the way, has very little power in the UK. It's like mostly just a institution used for tourism and stuff, and it's like, how did this become the biggest story of the day, the week, and the month? I don't understand it, and for a while I was like, this must be a conspiracy. This must be like, maybe the BBC media is like owned by the royals and they have pressure to do some weird stuff like that. I didn't understand what it must have been, but I just think at this point, it's just people love the idea of the procedure because the royal institution goes back so far, and people love the idea of monarchy, and I was shocked by that. I thought most people were in the same boat as me, where it's like, having someone who is just, ruled over all of us, it's a bit weird, but it's kind of nice that it brings in tourist money. And the reality is people like to vicariously live through public figures. That's why celebrity news must be a thing, right? Like, oh, I kind of know that guy from a thing, and we get to have that third-person drama like it's a friend who's gone through a breakup or something. And people like to, get that feeling from the royal wedding because, oh yeah, that's an actress I might know, and that's like someone who's famous, apparently. I don't know him, but like, I guess I should. And yeah, it's weird how human culture works this way, but I kind of get it, and also don't at the same time. But I don't personally care, and it took me a very long time to work out why anyone did. And even then, I'm still like, are you sure this isn't fake? I have to look around at people like that every now and then. But yeah, I get it, I guess. Let's move to the next question, which comes in from Taco360 Network, nice name by the way, who says, wait, they're rebuilding the graphics engine for Bedrock Edition. Could this mean that eventually the Bedrock Edition might actually look good? So, first of all, I mean, the look is subjective, but yeah, no, I agree. I don't personally like the look of Bedrock quite so much as the other versions, and I think they are intending blending to make it look better, but there's a key distinction here. It's that they're not upgrading the graphics engine, they're upgrading the graphics pipeline. So that's effectively the graphics engine as far as, you know, anyone's concerned. But just to clarify before I say anything else, I went to college for computer science. I just want to mention that, like, I know a decent amount of like introductory stuff, so maybe I'm missing something key here. But yeah, the graphics pipeline is the way that the game tries to render graphics to the screen. And the basic reason they'd be upgrading that, again, the way that the game engine is, you know, sending the graphics to the screen, is to presumably get more performance, especially out of phones and other weird devices like that, where, again, those, you know, those phones, etc., are like kind of limiting the game as a whole. So they are rebuilding the graphics engine. They don't necessarily have to make an improvement to the graphics themselves, because they're just improving the way that they show on the screen and the amount of resources it takes, but they likely would also improve the graphics at the same time. So expect Minecraft Bedrock Edition to go through an overhaul, but we don't know what sort of overhaul. It might just be technical, it might be technical and visual, but they haven't confirmed, you know, the second part of that, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm excited for it regardless. I think it's cool. Like, I think, you know, having a new look for Minecraft Bedrock is something they really need to do, because right now, people look at the game and they see Minecraft Pocket Edition, regardless what device it's running on, and that's not something that I think is good for the game as a whole. So yeah, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Chains999, who says, Q&A, chalkboard, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So to answer your question, and the many question marks that came with it, so yeah, if you ever look into the texture files for Minecraft Bedrock, you'll find there are stuff like chalkboards and many other weird things like that, but these are all found in the Minecraft Education Edition, and they're slowly integrating Minecraft Education Edition into Minecraft, you know, PE/Minecraft Bedrock as a whole. So yeah, that is a feature that is intended to be there. If you Google Minecraft Chalkboard, or if I just show you some of that, you can see how, like, oh yeah, that is a real Education Edition feature, and because Education Edition is being implemented slowly and slowly more into the main game, which is a good thing, it gives you more features to play around with, you'll see a chalkboard eventually, but it will be like kind of like a mod pack kind of thing. So yeah, don't worry about it, it's not some, you know, brand new feature, and it would be an interesting one, but it's not coming. So let's move into the next question, which comes in from Awesome Pika Gaming and Animations, who says, hey Toycat, do you think on the legacy versions between now and the Aquatic update, or on the update, there will be a new tutorial world? So there is going to be one more update coming out for Minecraft 360, PS3, Wii U, you know, PS Vita, and 0 more updates presumably coming out for the One and the Switch, which to me kind of makes it seem like, well, if there's going to be one last update, and given that this is a particularly complex one with the new water physics and such, I think there will be a new tutorial world, because you know, last year we didn't see a new tutorial, which was like, oh, that's kind of a weird thing, and given that tutorials are such a fun thing about Minecraft, I think they want to send off the consoles with a bang, give everyone that last new experience to play around with, and personally, I'm really looking forward to it, because again, I'm almost certain they will do it. The artists have had a long time to, you know, do stuff with this, and given that, you know, Minecraft PS4 is still going to be very much alive and well, I think they want to dedicate some time to this tutorial, and I think given the scale of this update, think about it, there's 4 mobs, there's 50 something new blocks, there's new water physics to play around with, there's new breathing mechanics, all this stuff has to be explained somehow, and I think there'll be a new tutorial to do it, so I'm super hyped for that actually. And again, I think I haven't said this already, but I will be covering the update Aquatic when it comes out for Minecraft console on my channel. Maybe not the same like 6 video a day as I sometimes do, but I still will be talking about stuff like this, and I still will be checking out stuff like the brand new tutorial world, because again, that gets me super excited personally, but maybe that's just me. Let's move on to the final question, which comes in from the Froggy Fellow, who you might recognize because they are a sponsor on the YouTube gaming livestream, and he says, what Switch games are you excited for this year? And honestly, at this stage in the year, because we're not 100% sure if like Smash 5 will release, which I'm kind of excited for, or the new Pokemon game that they've hinted will be coming to Switch is releasing, which super excited for, but games that are actually confirmed to be releasing, Donkey Kong, you know, Tropical Freeze, I'm kind of excited to maybe give that a shot. I know it's like come out already, but it's one of the games I'm like, you know, keeping my eye on, I guess, and being like, when I have some free time, I'm gonna jump right into that. And the other one that I might stream, because it's coming out in literally, you know, a week and 2 days now, is Harvest Moon, because I loved Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley, you know, again, it makes no sense for a farming game to be exciting, but I was like enthralled by that game. I played something like 25 hours during, you know, 1 week when I first got it, because I was away in Singapore and I had a bunch of like times at airports and stuff. I played so much Stardew Valley, and it makes me think like, you know, I'll probably like Harvest Moon, right? Because it's essentially the same game. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm super excited for Harvest Moon, because I think it's similar. Again, I've heard a lot of comparisons between the two games. I'm also excited for these unannounced Smash 5, etc. And there's also Crash Bandicoot Trilogy coming to the Switch, which again, to me, I like platforming games, especially in handheld, you know, kind of systems. So super excited for that. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this Q&A. I want to mention one more time that again, whenever the update Aquatic comes out for consoles, 1, I'll let you all know on this channel, and 2, I'll be checking out that new tutorial world, doing that music disc hunt. Super hyped about that, as well as presumably at the same time the Egyptian mythology mythology one, but I want to know, so I'm going to do this over at Twitter, so I'm giving you some heads up now. I'm going to do a Twitter poll on whether you care more about a new tutorial world or the Egyptian mythology mashup pack. So if you want to like influence which one I stream first, go over there and vote on that. But anyway, I'm just self-promoting myself at this point, so I don't know, subscribe to me, turn on notifications, because it makes me feel better about myself, and most importantly, it gives you videos daily on your homepage. YouTube is taking more and more control about what you watch, and if you want to take the control back, the best way to do it is to, again, hit the bell instead of just regular subscribing, even if you turn on notifications on the YouTube app, so it effectively just works as like a super subscribe, which I know is super weird, but I think given how YouTube is trying to be, it makes some sense on their end. It just makes it really weird for people like me, where like, oh, someone will show up, in 3 days time and be like, why haven't you uploaded in 3 days? And I'm like, I did. And there's also a link down below where you can see recent videos, and if you want to check out, or at least look at what I've made this past week, that's how you can see it, because I've been making so many videos for the update Aquatic, and I will continue to do so in the future. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for some more Aquatic field action. Goodbye.